Shalom, beloved family. It's your girl Sophia Spiritualite, and we're here for another research video. This will be the fourth one released today, but I did actually record this one today because the research came through this morning, and I think it's important, especially everyone saw what happened on um, my prayer last night, where apparently the demon took over the last few minutes. And first, that mofo knocked the statue of Barachiel out of my hand. Then that mofo decided he was going to take over my audio. So that tells me, number one, I'm on the right track. Number two, that's all they can do. The information is going out whether they like it or not, period. And so here we are with another research video, information that's fresh out of the spirit realm directly to us. Um, and this is this is basically the culmination of the question I asked when I first read the book of um, the book of remembrance of Melchizedek, because at the end of the story, which we're going to read here, it said that Zedekiel became a archangel, and it didn't say what her name was, but it said that Melchizedek became Michael. And so after that, I said, well, how? I mean, why would they tell us that Melchizedek is Michael, but they won't tell us Gaira's name? What is that about? I have a problem with this. So, as usual, Gentiles trying to keep us from who is assigned to us. And so, before I begin, all praise, glory, and honor be to the Most High, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the great I am, loving kindness, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. We ask for permission to speak with the angels for just a few moments so that we are able to get a message that will allow us to be of better service to you and to the kingdom. We thank the Holy Mother for always being with us. We acknowledge our older, wiser brother Yahushua and the perfect example that he set. And of course, to the angels, especially Gaira, who's assigned to us here, and all the other archangels who are here to help us and guide us. We ask that you come and be with us for just a few moments. We're going directly to the realm of the archangels. That's what we need right now, to assist with getting this message out, to make sure that's delivered in one piece, whole and complete, and with all the information necessary for the brothers and the sisters within the nation to take it, utilize it, and run with it, so that as we ascend, you are also able to ascend. All right, so the guardian angel Zedekiel Bob, aka Shum, aka Barachiel, aka Tzedekiel. So this whole thing is about keeping the expansion, our expansion, away from us. And the realm of expansion is the deck. If you've read the other, if you've seen the list of spirit intelligences, you will know that all of our guardian angels come from Sadek. And when I found that out, I thought, well, that's interesting because they're assigned to us here, but they come from Sadek. So they're here to make us better, right? So why isn't that really happening? Like, we're getting more knowledge, which is important, but you know, we weren't getting more physical, because when you expand, everything expands. Remember, Saturn contracts and Jupiter expands. Wherever Saturn is, it contracts it elongates it. Really, it's just the whole thing with Saturn. But wherever Jupiter is, it expands it. Even when it's in retrograde, where it looks like it's going backwards and then it's going forward, it's still expanding, but it's expanding on the inside first, then to the outside. So, all right, let's just get started, man. This is very emotional for me because I saw that demon knock that thing out of my hand. I didn't know about the sound thing until a few of the sisters told me, but I saw that thing fly out my hand yesterday, and I have a bone to pick with these motherfuckers because I just do. So we're gonna get this information out. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, and y'all going to be able to collect a lot of dots. And of course, I give everybody the blessing and the curse now when they listen to my information. If you take my information and you use it to glorify and magnify the Most High, you will be expanded. And if you take my information and you use it to harm a child of light, to use and abuse the angels and the Most High, you will live to regret it. And that's the blessing and the curse that comes now with every single one of my videos. All right, so we're going to first start by reading from the book of Melchizedek, all of the um, basically everything that Zedekiel Bob said. And I think it's important to have this foundation as we move forward into discussing her as an archangel. So, this, as you can see, is page 318. We'll start with 107. I kind of have it highlighted here. And in the 22nd year of Melchizedek, he was 22. This is not an old man. Okay. Payida asked him if he wanted to go with him to visit the encampment of Malat, as he had done so before, and he went to be with the people, for it was a celebration of the new year for the righteous. And while he was there, he met a young maiden. While everyone was engaged in preparing the meal, they stood talking by a dwelling, and she said, "How are you called?" And he said, "I am Shem." And she began to laugh, which he was confused at her behavior. And he said, "Why do you laugh?" And she said, "You are called the name. I am called Shum, which is the same name. They call me Shum to hide my name, Zedekiel, which they say Zedekiel. I mean, if you look at anyway, that's when I was like, oh, Zedeke, Telebab, Zedeke. They made the tell the most important part, but it was a Zedek. Okay, sorry. That Anika said gave me. What name are they hiding for you? He said Melchizedek. And the two of them looked intently into each other's eyes for a moment, and being overcome with emotion, they turned and busied themselves with the activities of the day. All right, so um as you can see, she has a sense of humor because he says something and she just starts laughing at him like, what in the world is wrong with you? And of course, when I read this part about her name, Zedek Zedeke Telebob, I kept saying, well, how do you say her name? Why would she have such a long name? And also, what does it mean? They don't have down here what her name means. They just have what Shum means. They don't have what Melchizedek means in this book either, but I just wanted to point that out, that the note that they have for this is how to pronounce her name. They wanted you to know how to pronounce her name, so they made it a footnote. But I bet a lot of people didn't take the time to pronounce her name because I did. I was like, well, I want to know how to pronounce her name. Seems like she's quite important, especially when you read the rest of these stories. All right, well, let's see what the Strong's Concordance. All right, so we have Strong's Concordance 8036. And then we have Strong's Concordance 8035 that relates to Shem. Shem is 8035, Shum is 8036. So I went and pulled out my Strong's Concordance. Shout out to my mama for letting me take hers. Um, so let's read 8035. Shem means shame, same as 8034. Name Shem, a son of Noah. Sem or Shem. Let's look at 8034. Shem or shame, a primary word rather from 70, 70, 60 through the idea of definite and conspicuous position compared to 8064. And which is, I think I got that one too. An appellation as a mark or memorial of an individual by implied honor, authority, and character. Base or infamous name or renown or report. That's what Shem means. Infamous, name, renowned, or report. Implied honor, authority, and character. So why do they say it means shame? Why would you be ashamed of having honor, character, and authority? You would be shamed because the Gentiles are ashamed of you, and so they called you Shem so that you would be ashamed of your name. It's like you're ashamed of your real name, not necessarily ashamed. They say ashamed, but I don't think they mean shame in the way that we look at it now. So anyway, let's move on because I don't want to get into a whole conversation of that. So Shum, which is Chaldean, which obviously is our people. Shum, which I don't know what that means, corresponds to 834, which is name. All right, so here we go. 7760. I didn't get the other one because it didn't say anything. So we have Sum or Shum, whatever that means, and Sim or Seem. So not shame, but seem, a primary root to put in a great variety of applications. Literally, figuratively, all those other ones. Any wise, appoint, bring, or call a person's name, a care, cash, change, charge, commit, consider, convey, determine, disguise, dispose, do, get, heap up, hold, impute, lay down, leave, look, make out, mark, name, or ordain, order, paint, place, preserve, purpose, put on, regard, rehearse, reward, cause to set upon, show, steadfastly, take, tell, tread down, overturn, holy, or work. Holy or holy, Holey. Not well, yeah, Holy. Holy. The name is holy. They literally did all of this so you would not understand that Shum is holy. These are holy people. They each were given the same name, one with an E, one with a U. So let's move on. Um, so this is back to the book, page 332. You can look this up. This is when Shem and Shum are going to exchange espousal gifts. So we're going to start with 151. And Shem opened his bundle, and it contained a small loaf of bread and a small preserved fish. And Shum looked upon it very surprised. And he said, I want you to be always like the bread, to join me to the spirit of life of Motza, who is in all things, so that our righteousness will abound. And with the fish, I want to be your friend, on an equal level with the Erkadeshi, so that you will be the companion of all us together. And I need someone who is willing to include the Erkadeshi that I will walk with in their circle of love. And upon hearing this and beholding the bread and fish, Shum began to cry tears of happiness. And she opened her bundle. There was a loaf of bread and a fish. A loaf of bread and a fish, the same thing. And Shum was overcome with joy that they were on one in their spirits, in their hopes for holiness in their future together. And Shem said, it's plain to see that we desire of others, we must require of ourselves. And the young man with Shem hastily departed with the news because he was a listener, so much for it being a private matter. And yet another one sounds, is this the next page? No. Okay, so this is another part of the story. Um, Let me see. We're going to start at 220. The other highlight is from when I was reading this initially. So we're going to start at 220, verse 220. And they pointed to a rock up on the hillside where they had planned to bury the gifts under the south side of it. And Rack said, the thunder has made a proclamation that it desires to be the one among the Erkadeshi who is charged with the safekeeping of the foundation of your marriage. And it spoke in the fifth thunder, indicating your marriage will be bound up in the right hand of the great holy one, Aneka said, and both your walks in holiness, as exclaimed by the pine trees, now belongs wholly to him. Therefore, you must both offer your gifts unto the thunder at the pine trees. That's 348. Okay, so I skipped a couple pages. Here's 350. Um, oh, the picture was there, 221. And I see them going out to do his bidding. And Shem approached the pine trees on the north, and kneeling down, he deposited the bread and the fish in the pine needles and covered them up with forest stuff. And Shem went out to the tree on the south side and did the same. And the listeners spread word to all who were in the procession. And it came to pass that the procession started up again. A long rolling rumble of thunder could be heard in the far distance, and it was felt to be plainly rejoicing. For the comfort of Aneka said in all these things, and tears of joy began to fall, to lightly fall as the procession continued on its way. And now I can see a cliff in the distance, and it looks like they are headed for having the wedding. under an overhang at the base of the cliff. As they approach the site, they begin to find their places. Lightning strikes a tree on the other side of the stream nearby, and the ground is smoking. And a man they called Beira, who is thus because he is a firekeeper, goes over to get the fire for the wedding. And Rack said that Elneka said him bought the fire himself with the seven thunder to indicate the lifelong repentance, and the behavior of this couple must be firmly rooted in their daily walk with most of the Lamb. And the repentance alone will enable them to succeed in all they are called upon to do. And I see the firewood has been gathered and prepared beforehand. And I noticed the seven thunder had struck a grand old oak tree, and it continued to smoke gently on the ground all during the ceremony. And to me, it felt like the smoke in the presence of Elder. In the midst of all this, I discerned that the firekeeper is a brother to Netzar, who had taken Shum in to live with her, and they are descendants of Shamar. All right. Is this the next page? Yeah, 351. Okay. And I see that as soon as the procession arrived and found their places, they all stand and sing the wedding song which was sung in Eden and brought back by Enoch. And they do this before they do anything else. And it is raining harder now, and the couple is seated out in the middle on a half circle formed against the cliff overhang. And their hair is being prepared in the usual way for weddings. And Rack had a pot of water for them to wash with and to drink. But now but it was now raining more, and a small rivulet of water was cascading down from above, forming a little stream of water that fragmented into droplets near the ground, and it was falling right between Shem and Shum, and the wind would blow it a little from one side to the other, getting both of them wet. And I could hear the quiet laughter of the people, and Rack said, "The Erkadeshi are conducting this wedding, and I am only here to be their witness." And they used the rainwater to wash with and to give each other their marriage drink, and all the people understood now what it meant for them to share their friendship with one another together with the Erkadeshi. And in these moments, the Erkadeshi felt like they were too getting married. And it would turn out in Shabua that they were. Oh, okay. Let me go on. All right. So we're going to start. This is 353. We're going to start at verse 4. Well, we're going to start at a little paragraph, that little part before verse 4, where she actually speaks. So today I am going to explain marriage. Okay, wait, I do want to point something. I just thought about something. This little part right here about how the Air Kadeshi conducted their wedding, this part, i- that's how it's supposed to be for us as we walk the earthly mother angels will just do stuff for us if we include them in our lives. So is it very important to organize your life so that you can be have the opportunity to spend as much time with the Erkadeshi, the earthly mother angels, you need to spend time with them as much as possible. And that should be included in your plans of how you plan to move forward from this point. That's all I'll say about that. All right, next page. Today I'm going to explain marriage and the influences of male and female among the watchers in creation. And she said, "As you know, there were 8 children of our first parents that spread themselves out upon the earth. 4 of them were righteous, and 4 of them were bent on being wicked. But among them there were only 4 marriages, and their marriages were the element that expanded their influence in the use of their agency for either righteousness or wickedness. And without the element of marriage, their original influences would have faded away with time and become an unknown thing of the past. But because of the power of marriage, it introduced people to the watchers in creation. It joins them together either to the Erkadeshi or the Derkadeshi, and it has a very profound effect. And for many, it is a wonderment that this can be so. But if their marriage is profane, they become subject to the Derkadeshi through their marriage, and that also enhances their influence for darkness and death. And those who join to the Air Kadeshi are empowered to enlarge light and life." And she said, "We think of the Der Kadeshi as being male because they are the fathers of the Nephilim. And we think of the Air Kadeshi as being female because Kava named the mountain Rishoni and called her mother. But maleness is not bad and femaleness is not good. For the lives of the watchers of heavens are much more profound than that. Now we understand that the Air Kadeshi see through the eyes of Anoki said, and they hear through the ears of Mota. Now, let me just pause right there. The Air Kadeshi see through the eyes of the Most High God. They are the eyes of the Most High God. They see through their eyes, but that means that they are the eyes. Every blade of that's why the rocks can be your witness. When you make your covenants, everything is a witness, everything around you, because they are the eyes of God. And they hear through the ears of Mota who set the example. That's why it's so important to look at the example that Yahweh Shai set, because the Erkadeshi hear through that example. Are we saying the words like Yahweh Shai said, or are we doing the opposite? All right, let me continue on. So, when thinking how Rihi saw and understood her daily walk with Mota, and how Zakar heard the voices in creation in his daily walk, the Erkadeshi see in similar ways as Rihi, and they hear in similar ways as Zakar. Now, and just like how holy women see and understand how repentance brings forgiveness, their eyes are attuned to the levels, their visions of wholeness inside a person. And this points to salvation. And in their understanding and wisdom, women tend to see virtue, and they sense that part of a vision can bring the gift of life more fully into the present. And being women, they are charged with moving fear out of the present because of their connection with confidence and a renewal of forgiveness. And they can influence people to know what Anoki said means to them in the present moment. This is a woman, this is a energy that is about experiencing the present and being present with what you need, but also being present with the Most High at the same time. An example would be to consider that a woman can know winter is coming, and she can remember the past suffering and be aware of fears of winter, but the Asive dancing in the winds of summer speaks to them that there should be no fear of winter, because peace and assurance are the watchwords of the Air Kadeshi to women. And every one of the Air Kadeshi, peace and assurance are the watchwords of the Air Kadeshi to women. Then say to men, then say to men, to women. And every one of the Air Kadeshi that has a message to women in some form, which arises out of faith in the Lord. And likewise, men hear a call to action and move out and do their repentance. And when they see the Asive dancing in the winds of summer, they make plans and thus are not afraid of winter, because the Air Kadeshi tell them how to perform their labor. So look how the difference is between what the women do. The Air Kadeshi give peace and assurance to the women, and to the men they tell them how to do their jobs so that they'll be ready for the winter. They just it's different ways of communicating. You won't have the same experience as a man if when you communicate with the Air Kadeshi. All right. And they hear all the light in the Air Kadeshi, and it opens them up to the meaning and effects of reproval. And as men of God, those who are thus joined to the Air Kadeshi are satisfied with the processes of repentance, and they are confident in their failure. That is why Yakasad, Yatsakad, sorry, was not as troubled over his sin as Kava was. And the Air Kadeshi, each and every one, have a watchword for the ears of men, of gentleness, patience, with safety and comfort, and of knowing how to enhance relationships that lead to expanding the gift of life. That is what Zedekiel Bob does. He expands because Jupiter expands. You're going to see all the connections. This is, I mean, she's had some more stuff that she says in this book. And so the Erkadeshi are the sons of heaven for men, and they are the daughters of heaven for women, and they are ever faithful. But those with profanity of marriage are subject to the Derkadeshi, who hate visions of holiness that are not linked to maleness or femaleness, and that in the last days the wicked will seek to do away with that which God has established. And that's exactly what we see right now. All right. So let me go to 15. We're going to go down. And Zedekiel Bob rose to her feet, and she went over and drew out the two tablets from a box. And she unwrapped them, and laid them on her lap upon the mantle. And the people that moved closer to see them, and I can tell by the look on their face that this teaching session is becoming more serious, and we were headed for deep waters. And she waited for everyone to settle down and said, Melchizedek and I are Zachahari. Now she just finished explaining what Zakar and what's that other word? Zakar and Ahar. I can't remember their names. Zakar and Rihi. There we go. She just finished explaining what Zakar and Rihi were. She put the words together. Zakarihi, right? And I heard not the two names Zakar and Rihi, but one word, Zakar Hihi. Why these people can't pronounce no English? And she said, I have the guidance tablet and he has the covenant tablet. And these two, she has the guidance tablet as in she's in charge of the guardian angels who provide us guidance. I mean, this stuff is like it's not rocket science if you can read it properly. And the two of these tablets are joined together in a way that reflects the sanctity of marriage. Now, just keep in mind we're talking about Jupiter and Michael is over the sun. The Jupiter and the sun have a connection. Yeah, Michael's over the sun. I hope that's right. We'll see if it's wrong. I'll correct that before this is over. I'm sure. I think Michael's over the sun though. So we have this relationship between Jupiter and the sun, and so now maybe you understand why the sun is doing all this crazy stuff trying to get this energy to Jupiter so that Jupiter can get it to us. Just a thought. All right, let's keep going. And on the guidance tablet, there's a man's side and a woman's side. Okay, she talks about all the stuff. We're not going to go through all. Let's just look at 21. And all the people can see the light of inspiration, and all people can hear the truth, both men and women. So it is not only that Rihi could see and that only Zakar could hear, but rather the guidance tablet indicating how men and women can join with salvation and redemption with good and eternal effect. And so, the hearing and seeing of Zakar and Rihi as children was found to be expressing the boundaries of intervention in their agencies. Unlike others, their morning prayers were in fact intervention of agency. And that's what they accomplished as children through their adult life. Became established among the righteous to this day, among those who are called Zakarihi, and rich blessings have flowed from the profound acts of little children. And then Zedekiel sits down, and then Melchizedek starts talking. We're not going to focus on him right now. This is for the ladies. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. We're going to skip this. Was this the next page? All right, let's go to the next page. Maybe she starts talking, and that's why I said it. No, 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 no. She doesn't. She's not talking here. Let's see. Um. Okay. I'm not sure she doesn't start talking. I feel like okay, well, I mean, this is not that important for our story right here. I think you all basically get the point. Okay, here we go. 50. This is page 458. And Shum is teaching about the Kelly bread. And she is saying, in the establishment of Shabua, the bread will represent the Air Kadeshi's gift to man, in terms of carrying both the spirit and the comforter to them. And the women who make the Kelly bread for Shabua must be a part of the whole process. They must harvest the wheat and grind the flour and bake it and dance to bless it. And in this way, women are the mothers of Ma'in for the Air Kadeshi, like a mother helping her children make gifts for their loved ones. And the wine must be made by the men, and it can be any kind of fresh fruit juice, as the wine represents the gift from mankind to the Air Kadeshi by taking them with us when we cross over, and by affirming their identities in the gift of life by their definitions, and thus giving the Air Kadeshi the opportunity to find fulfillment like a father supporting his children to succeed in their life's task. And the wine is their gift to their wives. Thus, the bread and the wine represent both sides of the covenant made between the Er Kadeshi and the righteous man. The righteous and man and creation work together before God to magnify the presence of God in each other's lives, and the men must harvest the fruit and press the juice, and they must sing a song of Elder the Blessed. And with these preparations, we are preparing the righteous element to establish the Shabua covenant upon the earth forever. And we will make the bread and wine be the entire meal for the feast of Shabua. All right, that's what she said. All right, what's next? Okay, Shum is going to speak. We're on page 468. And Shum is going to speak, and she said, "Be it known this day that to be in this covenant, all of you must join with mankind to keep the guidances of Anoki said. And this is so that when you impart to man the blessings of your storehouse, both the spiritual and the temporal, it will come in a form that can be received by us in our sinful state. And we know that you do not sin, and the mutual keeping of guidances that will bind us together in this regard. And I will explain the guidance is the guardian angels to you now. You must keep the sanctity of marriage among yourself, the same as mankind. So that the same as mankind. I just want to point that out. Um, she's not talking about their people. She's talking about a different people. Just so you didn't miss that drop. Anyway, so that every male of any kind among you will love and respect the female of their kind, and that there be no spirit of fornication, and those of you who are fathers of herds of flocks, that is your directive. What that's really talking about is not serving another god before the most high. You have to you love, as a woman, you love the most high God. You already love the Holy Mother. You know her because you share a similar spirit. And if you're a male, you love the Holy Mother. You already love the Most High God. That's not the part. The part is the Holy Mother. And there'll be no spirit of fornication, which is serving another God before the Most High, which is what our people got in trouble for. All right. And those of you who join for life, male to female, that is your directive. See, that's why you know that's different. This is talking about the most high, right? On that first part, and those of you who join for life. Join for life means to make children. Has nothing to do with the sanctity of marriage. Our marriage is to the most high and the angels and the Erkadeshi, and the Holy Mother. Our most high is to our marriage is to the most high. And then we join for life, male to female. That is your directive. I'll keep going. And in holiness of heart, you will be well satisfied with your gender. Excuse me. And the dignity it holds for you. And the cottonwood trees will be a reminder for you wherever it grows of the importance of the aspects of your gender. Cottonwood would mean like our clothes. In your visions of created purpose, because the female tree has blossoms that are the woman's color of pink. And the male trees have blossoms, which are the man's color of light yellow. We will see that come back up. And they do not hold any desire for it to be otherwise. And they continually celebrate their rightful station in creation. And they deeply love each other in rich bonds of affection in the sanctity of marriage with the Most High. And you are to purify yourself by sevens in all things, and keep the seventh day holy with us, and abide by the weeks and the years of your jubilees with sabbatical years and with years of release. And when you discover a way to expand your purity and your awareness for your need to support it, you will need to act to purify in your determinations before Enoki said. And mankind will come sometimes to view your purifications as extremes in the weather. And you must keep the 7 holy days with us forever, so that we can be known as Elder, having walked hand in hand in our task of comforting Aneko said. I want you to keep in mind this whole seven thing. Her number is seven. She is associated with the number seven. We have to rethink a few things. And you are to seek no authority other than the loving kindness of Enoki said. And in this way you cannot be induced to bring harm to the righteous, and you cannot be taught to hate the wicked, and you have no authority to be vengeful or angry. But you will be like Enoki said with us, only rejoice in goodness and suffer in sorrow with evil. And Mota will never have to grieve alone because of us in this covenant, and he can have rich companionship in all his joys. Is this the next page? Yes. Okay. And you are to hold back nothing in reverse in your love for Inoki said and the man that he became. And you are not to measure the cost in any manner in your love for them. And you are to be like us and plunge ahead without fear or justification in your love for them, and take no thought of your life for your lives, and be self-sacrificing in his behalf at every turn. For he is your most high and holy, Enoki said, and Mota your redeemer and savior. I think really what that means is when you act, you're fear. Of course, you don't what is it? Turn back on the name of the Most High. You act with boldness when the Most High comes through for you. And you are to set firmly in place, together with us, the righteousness established during the first great sevening. And we will bring forward together unto the ends of the earth the righteousness of the loving kindness that has been established in all things, no matter where evil will wander in their terrible strains, and we both together will not be ashamed of our righteousness before them. And you are to completely abandon that evil Sammihiza brought into the world, comparing the value of souls both among yourselves and among us. And see, you can't compare yourself to somebody else. You get what you need. Focus on what you need. This is exactly what this is our problem. We so worried about what everybody else has, what everybody else wants, what everybody else doing. We need to focus on ourselves. I don't have time to worry about nobody but my own self and my own stuff and the most high, and that's it. We cannot be in everybody's business, except to say what you're not going to do is disrespect the most high like they have been. And you will view all the diversity among you and ourselves to stand as equals in the sight of God. And we together will not look upon any spirit life among you or ourselves to be inherently inferior, but each a treasure to Enoki said in their own right, in his eyes and in our own, and thereby support the dignity and respect afforded all spirits of life that came in the day of their creation. And all of you, Erkadeshi, are to diligently teach your children to contribute to the world, offering of their righteous definitions in the elements of their beings, turning neither to the right or to the left away from it. And I know you will be obedient in this manner, and we will consider our lives richly blessed when we are able to follow your example and steadfastness in this manner. That sounds like she's telling the air she's telling them how they're going to operate. She's giving them their orders. That is not something of a small angel. I mean, this is a very strong person. All right. To acknowledge these definitions and the obedience of your children will always be a call and a reminder to us to be diligent in following your example in our own parenting, which is a whole nother thing. Eventually, we'll have to get to that. And you are to be well satisfied with your station, which you have been given, and desire no others, like the followers of Bad do. And we also will do likewise, and claim to own only that which Anoki said has given us, not that which we could obtain for ourselves. I don't have nothing. Oh, the Most High, everything that I have has been given to me by the Most High. Everything. I ask, I make requests, but it's nothing that I'm not so smart. I'm not nothing. All I did was keep asking the questions. Where is the priesthood of Zedekiel? I want to be affiliated with that priesthood. Where is it? And I just been searching for that. I don't know anything except for what I can see on these pages, and I don't even know this. I'm just reading it to you, you know? All right, so and we will not seek satisfaction of possessions, nor will we seek the accumulation of wealth, nor to find dominance over our fellows. And we will rely upon each of you to continually hold your holiness before our souls. I'm gonna pause right there. Did she say to be poor? Did she say to be destitute, living on the streets with nothing? No, she says we will not seek the satisfaction of possessions. Possessions will not satisfy your need, your spiritual needs. However, possessions will satisfy your physical needs. It's clear as day. You can't. It's impossible. You know the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Y'all are familiar with that. You have to deal with the stuff at the bottom before you can deal with the stuff at the top. It's actually our nature. And so to deny our nature by saying, no, I'm not going to make money. I'm not worried about this stuff. I'm just going to do. Yeah, not how it works. Does not work like that. It does not work that way. You have to take care of your basic needs first, and as you deal with your basic needs, things will elevate. All right, let's keep going. And not see the accumulation of wealth, right? You don't need to accumulate wealth. It doesn't matter because you can't take it with you. However, having a nice life, doing nice things with nice experiences is not accumulating wealth. That's just accumulating experiences. She says nothing of experiences. She says wealth. And wealth is They probably changed the word to mean money. I mean, from money to wealth, so that people would think they have to be poor. But no, you can accumulate. It just says you don't accumulate wealth. You just have what you need to be comfortable. That's not wealth. Having what you need to be comfortable is not wealth. You need, okay, I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm very, I get upset when people make it seem like that. It's very frustrating. Okay. Here we go. Nor find dominance over our fellows. Basically, you don't hold it over anybody. You give freely of what you have. If somebody needs something, you give it. You don't worry about it. You just keep on moving. Especially if you have access to more resources. When someone has a resource that they need, you throw it their way, and you don't worry about it. You wipe your hands of it. You give it the blessing and the curse, and you keep on moving. If it's something else you have to go and buy again, don't worry about it. Just go and get it again, because we act on behalf of the earth angels here. So, like, okay, a good example of this. Not that this video is going to be too long, but I'm going to give you this example. So when I started finding out this information on my birthday on Sunday, I had gone. I decided to take my kids to Dave and Buster's. I didn't really do anything for myself. I just took them to Dave and Buster's. My middle child, she been wanting to go. I didn't know it was one in Jacksonville. All of this, I took the kids. I bought two power cards, $25 each. Never, ever have I done this. Like, never. And one of them is gone. It? I don't know what happened to it. I was playing a game with my little man, and I don't know what happened to it. And I said, okay, that was somebody's blessing. They really needed that because they didn't have anything or whatever the case may be. I'm cool with that. And I just moved on. And I realized in that, in having that experience, like searching for the power card, I couldn't find it. And I didn't get all upset and like, I need to go tell this person. And his service was horrible. I didn't say, oh, I'm not gonna leave a tip. This, that. Let me leave the poor girl a tip. It's bad service. I didn't even eat my food until like hours later. I didn't even realize I hadn't eaten until I was getting ready to go to bed. And I was like, dang, I didn't eat anything. Let me eat this food that I got. And it was awful. Doesn't matter, because the point of the matter is I took my kids out for my birthday. We had some fun. We spent some time together. And, we got out the house. We had it and the experience. And it was for my birthday. And I thought that would be very important for us to have, as a family. And so in that process, I realized, oh, the angels really do need us to do stuff for them. Like, they send us on missions all the time to do random stuff. And we're like, well, why am I doing this? It's because they don't have the physical bodies to do it. They have to work through us. And so we have to have experiences. We can't be another problem with our ancestors is that they had all this information and they didn't talk about it. Not they didn't talk about it. They did not put themselves in positions to go places where the angels could work for them. So a lot of people who know this type of stuff, they stay, holed up in their house, and they don't leave home, and it's just word of mouth. A friend tells a friend tells a friend, and somebody comes to you with their most desperate whatever thing. But we can't do that. We have to be fruitful. See, we've been talking about subduing the earth, but we haven't even really got to the be fruitful part. That has nothing to do with multiplying. Being fruitful is spreading seeds. You cannot bear fruit with no seeds. If you're not going out and talking to people and having relationships with people, building friendships, whatever the case may be, with people, with physical people, you are not being fruitful. Because you have to spread seeds in order to be fruitful. Three totally different things. We've been focusing on the subduing the earth. We got to subdue the earth down part now. Part down now. Now we have to work on the being fruitful, because a lot of us are recluse. We're quiet. We don't really talk with a lot of people. We got to get money in our hands, and we need to go out and spend it. And we need to have experiences so that we can bless other people. Even if that's the thing that you do, you just go places, you find, people to, not how the Gentiles did it. Oh, I'm going to pay for this person's meal behind me. Don't tell them it's a secret. No, 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 no. You need to go out. You need to find some young kid, and you need to talk to his mom. You have a very nice young child. Let me give you $20. Go and buy them some art supplies. That type of thing. Or like me, I'm gonna start making pendulums and carrying them around with me. When I see a fussy person child, I'm gonna be like, can they, are they allowed to accept like little toys or something? And I'll just hand them a pendulum. Look, let me tell you how to talk to your guardian angel. They're here to protect you. Boom, 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 boom. That's my thing. Like, you gotta find a thing that you can do to spread the good news, to be fruitful amongst the people, because that's the message can't get out. And I had a conversation, a lovely conversation with my old white Uncle Doug earlier, and he said that the angels are starving. They need us to interact with them. They need us to help them do their work. And a lot of people, they okay, you got the multiply part. Some of y'all don't have the multiply part, but that's a whole nother thing. We ain't gonna talk about that right now. You understand the subdue the earth part now, but now you gotta be fruitful. And so this is our transition into the next phase of being fruitful. If not for the fruitfulness of Big Judah, a lot of us wouldn't be here at all. If not for the fruitfulness of Big Levi, I know I wouldn't be here, because that was the first person I started watching. I would keep my my good friend kept sending me these videos. I'm like, who are these people? What are they talking about? I don't understand this and that. And then I read this book, the Book of Remembrance of Melchizedek, and my whole world changed. My whole world changed. I could never go back after I read this book. And I haven't gone back. I've only gone forward. And so that's what we have to do for others. That's how you multiply yourself. And it's also how you subdue the earth, because as you become better at spreading the seeds, then you will multiply your knowledge, right? And then you will subdue the earth, because the righteous will overtake the evil. Right now, the evil, their numbers is real high. Our numbers is real low. We could get our numbers up if we follow that process of being fruitful, multiplying, and subdue the earth. That's the answer. Be fruitful, spread the seeds, multiply your knowledge, multiply your financial holdings so that you can spread it around, multiply your love, multiply your kindness, multiply. And then the strength we will have in numbers will easily be able to subdue the earth, you know? I have a very small channel. My channel could stay small forever. I don't care. The whole idea is that if I can put the information into the internet ley line, the information always gets to the people, and next thing I know, people are talking about what we need to do. So we have to be righteous evangelists, not evangelists for the good news of white Jesus, but the good news of the Most High, the good news of Zedek, who's here to help us, literally. We need to get the message out there. No one else is going to do it, because no one else even knows it to even spread it. And that I know for a fact. All right, so um let's see. And Shum said, 95, I'm sorry, and we will abhor murder and killing, both the images of God. We will abhor murder and killing, both the images of God and the wasting of the gift of your lives in provision. Wow, the wasting of the gift of your lives in provision. Why are you wasting your life trying to get money? Do you anyway, I'm not, I can't do that right now. We got to keep going. That's why she's a Zedek, because it's the expansion. The money is there. The money is not the problem. We are wasting our lives. We are killing, murder and killing. This is a part of murder and killing. Wasting your gift of your lives in provision is equivalent with murder and killing. Do you understand that? Like, I did the thing on the cosmic laws earlier. Like, I mean, even if you just look at the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not kill is like the first one, like one of the first ones. Like it's on the list, and we're killing ourselves by wasting the gift of our lives in provision. And it will be for us the most loathsome thing under heaven. And I will marshal all the souls coming out of the fourth station. Here she goes. I will marshal all the souls coming out of the fourth station against such attacks. How do they do that? With the guardian angels. On behalf of the safety and preservation of the righteous. During all my all during my time upon the earth. And it is a special calling I have been given as one named Geira, and we will safeguard every human life, the guardian angels. And there may be times your mother's milk will supplement our own, that no orphan may perish. So no child without a father will languish in our midst, neither your children nor our own. And we will take your orphan children to care for them. That's us. We're the orphan children. This is the talking to our elders. They promise our elders, our ancient grandmothers, that they would take care of us because we would be separated from our mothers. And the guardian angels are here to protect us. This is why. And when there is occupation and oppression come to our land, we will huddle together with you in patience. The guardian angels will huddle with us in patience and endurance of hope for deliverance. And Enoki said, will show mercy on us. And you will be called upon to divert the minds of the wicked away from their evil intentions towards the image of God. Right? All right, this now Shem talks. I mean, Shem talks. We're not going to talk about Shem. All right, so is this the next page? 473. No. Um, all right, so I'm gonna read these two highlighted parts. I don't know who's talking, I can't remember, but this is like at the end of the book, so I'm gonna do 110. And I have also come here this day to establish a second important aspect of the Holy Order, and that is an order called the Order of Zedekiel. Melchizedek and Zedekiel are the names that are given them by the Council of Elder because they are establishing Shabuah. And this describes an order of service that is to be accomplished while they are in flesh. But my father Enoki said, name them Michael and Geira, for they will accomplish in the next life to show forth their calling in heaven. All right, let's look at 112. And from heaven, Geira will help direct all the hosts of the abiding angels, our guardian angels, emerging in their service from the fourth station to marshal them to come to my aid when in my need to protect the righteous from the cruel and evil dominion of the hosts of darkness in their times of distress when pressed upon by the wicked. And by these means Anoki said will deliver his people at the time of lighting down of my arm upon the earth. And Gaira and all her hosts of guardian angels will accompany and guide the righteous to safety in times of trouble and danger. Later on I'll tell you how many angels she actually has control over, because it ain't just 72. Don't get it twisted. This is a powerful somebody. All right. And all the powers of darkness will suppress this knowledge. And all the powers of darkness will suppress this knowledge, which I bring to you this day concerning the order of Zedekiel. And look at this. We're just finding this out. This book been out since when? 2012? We are just finding this out from the righteous for a multitude of days, so that the righteous may be denied the protection that comes by calling upon the guardian angels and thus become subject to their evil designs. But know this: women of the order of Zedekiel who live carefully by the guidances of Nekased can call upon her and her host to come to the aid of their people, not her people, not just herself, their people. It don't take a lot to be able to call on. It doesn't take a lot of women to call on Zedekiel Bob to come and help. It doesn't take a lot. This says the women who of the order who live carefully can call upon her and her host to come to the aid of their people, and she will answer, not the host. Sorry, when you call on Miss Gaira, she coming herself, honey. That's why they knocked that statue out of my hand, because she is coming herself with all her glory. She is coming herself, not the other angels there. That she gonna tell them what to do, but she's coming herself to talk to us, the women, not the men. Men, they gotta deal with Michael. That's why they see Michael everywhere. Okay, Gaira's coming to talk to the women. Okay, in the needs in their families, but the women of this order can call upon the angels of the fourth station. So all of the angels of Jupiter. The fourth station is Jupiter. Jupiter coming up. All right. To protect the righteous over the earth, or to include the multitudes under some threat. We can cover everybody. Doesn't take a lot of us. We can cover everybody. And whatever these women of this order will be granted, and safety and protection will be forthcoming. But some things are hard to bear and must be borne by the righteous to strengthen them, like our fast coming up. And women of this order must discern the guidance of the Spirit to make their requests. And then they enter in, have a strong confidence and faith with sure determination of their protectors. And know this also, the order of Zedekiel arises out of the sanctity of marriage that is the foundation of the order of Melchizedek, the marriage with the Most High, the commitment to the Most High that we will not serve another God before Him. So most often, husband and wife will come to this order together, and she may accompany him, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's what they think. Let's ignore that. Okay, 117. And the order of Zedekiel among women, yea, each and every one, has been identified and designated for these women. Doesn't say all women, it says these women, okay? From the foundations of the world. We have been called by the light from the foundations of the world to be the women of the order of Zedekiel, the women of the order of Zedek, so that we can protect our people. We've been called. Many are called, but few are chosen, and the light chose us. All right. According to the foreknowledge of God, even now I have spoken these things here today to help establish Shabuah. All right, so 119. And Shum turned to face the people, and she said, "This day has our wonderful Redeemer become the foundation of Shabuah, and he has put his hand to join with us in the bonds of affection." Now she said, "There are three." Okay, remember, only the Holy Spirit can join us in uh only the Holy Spirit can make us friends with the Most High. So she is speaking on behalf or as a part of the Holy Spirit, the Holy Mother. Okay, just put that in your back pocket for right now. Now there are three of us joined here in Shabuah, in the same way as Mota is a third party of any who have the sanctity of marriage. Pause. This is my problem with government marriages, because they put themselves in place of the Most High. The a marriage with the eyes of government is you, your partner, and the government. Just like they put themselves in the middle of our childbirth process by issuing a social security number and a birth certificate. It's you, your child, and the government is right there. They literally think that they're God. They literally want to supersede the position of the Most High in our lives, and that's how they do it, by putting themselves in the middle of our stuff. And she said to the Erkadeshi, "Three of the elders of the Erkadeshi from Elder will become guides by example, so we may safeguard the definitions of your spirits in the life of creation. And the three are fountains, hills, and wind. Rahaviel is the wind. And they are the three of the council of Elder who are charged with their task. So the fountains, the hills, and the wind are the ones who are guides. Okay, and the right, and you see what the wind is doing right now, and the fountains and the hills, right? And the righteous will covenant at the beginning of each year to renew our determination to hear the Holy Spirit with the wind as our guide. And we will renew our determination at the start of every year to walk in holiness of heart toward Enoki said, with the hills as our guide. And we will dedicate our hands to the task of pure service to our families, teaching righteousness to our children. And we will include you in the sanctity of marriage with fountains as our guide. And in these ways, the three elders of the Erkadeshi and elder will urge us on, so that there will always be a righteous remnant to safeguard the definitions of the spirit of life in creation. And together with these three Erkadeshi, we will ensure. So together, basically what she's saying, together with her, the guardian angels that she controls, together with the Erkadeshi, will ensure that you will not forget the meaning of your lives in creation, so that you can find fulfillment and never again be brought by the wicked to the place that you will want to die. And the rainbow is the token of the covenant. Just like the rainbow attached to the earth on both ends, the one is joined into the Erkadeshi and the other is joined to the righteous. And we together will arch up to reach together the man in creation. And the rainbow is thus a token of the covenant of Shabuah, promising that the Air Kadeshi will never again come to the place where they want to die from utter loneliness, being deprived of the companionship of the righteousness. That is us. I mean, this is. I'll never get through this if I keep going at this rate. All right. So I'll read 144 and then I'm going to move on. I think I want to make a point now. All right, we're going to get to the I'm sorry this first part took so long, but we're going to get to the next part. And Shem is is the Michael the archangel because of him establishing Shabuah, and he's the prince of hosts of the Air Kadeshi, and the one with the task of standing up for the people in tribulation of times to help Mota with his burden. And Shem is Geira the archangel, who has the task of being the wonderful guardian of the righteous during tribulation times. And the righteous can call upon her, and as far as I know, she's the only archangel to have raised the dead while in the flesh. And all the righteous, both men and women can depend on her to rise up and come to their aid in their hour of need. So explain to me why they they called Shem the right name, Michael, right? You know, they gave him a name that you would recognize. But when you look for Geira, you're not finding no Geira the archangel. Why would they do that? Matter of fact, they point you in the total opposite direction by giving you this name, Geira. They point you in the total opposite direction of who Zedekiel Bob is. Even they gave you her name, they still point you in the total opposite direction. All right? And he says he labored on this for 24 years and lied to you about the most important part. So there's your problem that I have with this guy. You know, why would you lie about that? Why would you give say the right name for Melchizedek, but give the wrong name for Geira? It's the wrong name. Matter of fact, if you would have just said Zedek Kettlebob out loud, you would have realized that it was wrong. But instead, you did this. So anyway, that's my beef. So this is what they say she looks like. This is from the picture that they made from her in the book. Now, this is not going to be a stretch of the imagination, but I need you to that was a lot of reading, right? That was a lot of we had to get through all her words and you will see all of that stuff show up over and over again. I need you to malleate your brains a little bit. Okay, let's make them a little bit soft and tender, right? All right. This is this person, right? What she have in her hand. You can see the bread. You can't really see the fish, but you can see the bread and you can see what she looks like, right? All right. Now, stay with me. How different is that picture from this one? I mean it. Now, when I saw this, I was looking for Barachiel, right? I already explained this part. I came across this picture. I was like, I recognize this picture. This is so weird. Why does this look familiar? Why does this look this familiar? Right? Okay. Now, let's just do it one more time. This is the picture they give in the book. Skin tone and all, hair and all, bread. We'll come back to that. Then this is the picture that this woman from this website morethancharms.com, this is the picture she channeled for Barachiel. This is the same person. This is clearly the same person. Now let's read what she says about Barachiel. This is in her little if you go to her website, you can get her little free um ebook whatever. I spent a couple dollars with her just because I wanted the free ebook. I felt like it's wrong, whatever. So, blessings, good fortune, and miracles. The name Barachiel means lightning of God. And not exactly. We'll get back to that. Archangel Barachiel helps you. It does, but that's anyway. I'll get back to that. Archangel Barachiel helps you to maintain a positive outlook and has been given the task of facilitating miracles on earth by controlling the guardian angels. Archangel Barachiel opens your mind, body, and spirit to the pure loving energies of the divine. Ladybugs, dragonflies, hummingbirds, and butterflies. I have seen more butterflies than I've ever seen in my whole life. One time I was driving, actually I was in the car with my mom going from Towson back down to my house in DC, and I saw we were crossed by seven butterflies, seven whole butterflies. And anyway, that's when I went on the thing about like where's the druids things about the butterflies. So anyway, that's another lane that I got off on. I never got to this part. Are all favorite representations of Archangel Barachiel in animal form as they are bright, happy reminders of the divine. The color is green, pink, and purple. We'll get back to that a little bit. Astrology is the ruler of Jupiter, but somehow she has the day of the week as Saturday. And then she has the chakra as the base and the heart. The heart is absolutely true. The crystals. Um, let's look at life purpose. Oh wait, no, let's look at Siswith. Announce and deliver God's blessings to people. Boost confidence, morale, and generosity and positive outlook. Archangel of good fortune and will assist in opening the heart so that gifts can be received. Joy, humor, and laughter. That joy thing and that laughter thing comes up over and over again. So now we have that connection. Letting go of circumstances from the past. That's definitely what she said in that book. Reveal accurate perspective. Roses, rose petal, and the scent are signs of Barachiel's loving presence. And life purpose. Angel chief of all the guardian angels and sent angels for spiritual backup. Patron angel of family and married life. Family and married life. Oh, that's interesting. Can appear in both male or female form. And I want to point that out that again, these are titles. So before there was a before Zedekiel Bob ascended to her position as Barachiel or Gaira, whatever you want to call her, um, um, it could have been held by a male form. And when she ascends to her next position, it could be held by a male again because these titles are offices. It's not it's the name, but people don't understand it's an office. So just like I already described this, I'm not going to go into it in detail again. Again, this was the website I got that from, morethancharms.com. And this, I mean, if you can look at this girl and get the connection between this, that's very, very similar. All right, so this is from the Orthodox, and I want to point this out because they have Barachiel with the pink roses, right? We'll get back into that. So this is from Learn Religions. Um, this is from 2019. Barachiel is an archangel known as the Angel of Blessings and is the angel who is also the chief of all the guardian angels. Barachiel, who is also often known as Barachiel, means God's blessings. Other spellings include Barachiel, 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 Barbiel, Barachiel, Barachiel, Parachiel, and Verichiel. Interesting. Probably just language, like, how translations. Barachiel intercedes in prayer before God and people in need, asking them to give their blessings in all areas of their lives, from their relationships with family and their friendships to their work. People ask for Barachiel's help in achieving success in their pursuits. Since Barachiel is also the chief of all guardian angels, people sometimes ask for Barachiel's help in delivering a blessing through one of their personal guardian angels. In art, Barachios usually depicted scattering rose petals. Here we go with the rose petals again, that represent God's sweet blessings showering down on people, or holding a white rose, which also symbolizes blessings to his chest, her chest. However, sometimes the images of Barachios show her holding a basket that's overflowing with bread. Wait a second. Remember, both she and Shem gave each other espousal gifts of bread. So this is where you have your bread connection. All right. Both of which symbolize the blessings of producing children that God bestows on present parents. Barachiel can sometimes appear feminine form in paintings that emphasize Barachiel's nurturing work, delivering blessings. Like all archangels, Barachiel doesn't have a specific gender and can manifest as either a male or a female, according to what works best in a given situation. Now, this say the angel is green. That's a misnomer, right? Okay, rolling religious text. The third book of Enoch in an ancient Jewish text describes an archangel Barachiel as one. of the angels who served as the great and honored angelic princes of heaven. The text mentions that Barachiel leads 496,000 other angels. That's who you have access to. This is no small amount of angels, not just your 72 guardian angels. 496,000 other angels Zedekiel Bob has at her Gaira, I like that name. Gaira has at her disposal to send to deal with your stuff, to do what you need, to be a blessing to your family and your friends. 496,000 angels plus the 72, and however many are in the offices of the 72, because that's a whole thing. I haven't seen that in writing yet, but as soon as I find out, I'll share that information. Barachiel is taught of the seraphim rank of angels who guard God's throne, as well as the leader of all the guardian angels who work with humans during their earthly lifetimes. Barachiel is an official saint in the Eastern Orthodox Church and is also venerated as a saint by some members of the Roman Catholic Church. Catholic tradition says that Barachiel is the patron saint of marriage and family life. Here we go, ties right back to Geira, directly back. He may be shown carrying a book representing the Bible and a papal encyclicals, blah blah blah. Um, let's go to astrology. In astrology, Barachiel rules the planet Jupiter and is linked to the Pisces and Scorpio zodiac signs. Barachiel is typically said to inspire a sense of humor. Why? Because when she met Shem, she busts out laughing. Ha ha ha! We got the same name. Laugh, laugh, laugh. That's why. That's where the humor comes from. Barachiel is mentioned in the Amadella Solomon, a book dating back to the Middle Ages on how to contact angels by means of a wax tablet. Here we go with the tablet and the whole books of remembrance. This is it. All right, so here we go. This is when I made the connection to Tzedekiel, because I was looking for again Barachiel in this book, and I was like, that don't even sound right. Where's Tzedekiel? And so this is what it says for Tzedekiel. It's spelled wrong. But anyway, they don't even know how to spell this stuff. In rabbinic writings, the angel of benevolence, mercy, memory, and the chief order of dominions equated with, I don't know what that word is. Oh, I forgot I can't zoom in. Here we go. This is like super tiny. Um in something it's it with its 10 hierarchic orders. Zedekiel is listed as the co-chief with Gabriel in the order of something. He is also one of the 9 rulers of heaven and one of the 7 archangels that stand in the presence of God. In the Zohar, Zedekiel is represented as one of 2 chieftains, the other being Zophiel, who assists Michael when the great archangel bears his standard in battle. So you have Michael and Zedekiel right together. Here we go. In the magical book called Something, Tzedekiel is a regent of Mistophels, whatever that is. According to Trachtenberg, Tzedekiel is another form of Satiel, Canfeld, a theological discourse of angels. Tzedekiel is a ruler of the zodiacal sign Jupiter. Although Jupiter has been identified as Zachariel, blah blah blah, Bashariel right there, and others. To Tzedekiel, also, Michael, Tahadiel, and others is ascribed by some writers the act of holding back Abraham's arm when the patriarch was about to sacrifice his son. So there you go. I haven't read the other books of remembrance, but I'm sure that will trigger something for someone else. All right, let's go on. So this says Archangel Barachiel. One of the archangels, Barachiel has dominion over lightning. As a ruling angel, Barachiel is invoked in games of chance. Armed with the windfall of opportunity, surprise, and support from the universe and lucky charms, Barachiel answers prayers for prosperity and abundance. And then it has a prayer for abundance there. My bad. Okay. Archangel Barachiel, he's associated with the heart chakra. When your heart is full of love, you'll be drawn to roses, which hold the highest vibrational energy possible. Did y'all know that? The petals on the rose signify blessings. Allow yourself to be blessed. Completely clear and open your heart chakra to receive. And then we have a special message of the day. So here's where I show you where Zedekiel is. Geira in the fourth station. What is the fourth station? Let's zoom in here so you guys can see this. Chesed. This is, you see, that's the Jupiter symbol. And the incense is Anahata, which is the incense of the heart chakra. We say mercy of God, majesty, visions of love, Chesed. And the holy name is that word I won't pronounce right now. All right, so we got a couple more things here. This is a fairly long video, but I want to make this point. I only want to make it once, and I want to get it over with. Hold on one second. Sorry, it's time for bed for some people around here. And of course, there's no one else to do that but me. All right, so we'll just pause this. Stupid things. Okay. Um, why won't this thing turn off? Huh. Of course, they make it so you can't turn these tablets off. All right, so Barachiel. Here we go. This is from D. Whitefeathers. This was a pretty comprehensive article. Who is also known as Barachiel means God's blessings. Other spellings include all these ones I already read. I already read that one about the angel of lightning. I already read this one about the main characteristics. The thing about this is just to look at the pictures and remember the whole thing about the lightning. Remember when Shem and Shum were getting married, the lightning was demanded that they stop and put the thing down. So that's how you would. That's where that connection comes in. Um, I'm not gonna read stuff I've already read. Um, but this was a very when I first found this article. I found this article before I found the other stuff, so I just wanted to point all this stuff out because he basically copies and pastes from the other article, right? And it says how do you answer and the rose petals. Okay, so this says this it was how do I recognize Archangel Barachiel? So we have rose petals, laughter, expecting good things to happen. That would be Barachiel. Barachiel, Tzedekiel. All right, so now we're gonna look. I'm not gonna beleaguer this. We're just gonna make this point about the rose petals because I remembered hearing a video someone speaking about the rose petals. So I wanted to get the information on that. It says it has said as a rose among thorns. He asks, "What does a rose represent?" He answers, "It is the assembly of Israel, meaning Malchut." For there is a rose, and there is a rose. Just as a rose among thorns is tinged with red and white, so does the assembly of Israel, Malchut, consist with of judgment and mercy. Just as a rose has 13 petals, so the assembly of Israel consists of 13 properties of mercy, surrounding it on all sides. After all, the Elohim, the name of the creator that it alludes to his attitude towards the lower ones by the force of judgment as well, I can't even read this. Here we go. As it is said in the beginning, Elohim created the first sentence in the Torah. In the beginning, initially, when he thought it, he created 13 words and surrounded the assembly of Israel to protect it. And here they are the heaven and the earth, and the earth was empty and chaotic, and the darkness over the face of the abyss, and the Spirit started up to the word Elohim in Hebrew and is written in conjunction with the word following it. Hence, it is considered as one word. All right, so let's see. I'm not going to read all of this. Boy, this thing, let's go to the bottom of the page. That's where we talk about roses. The color red designates the rose's connection with the outer impure forces. Because of this connection, it can suck the strength, light from it. This is because 9 of her Sephiroth are in exile below the world of whatever that is and the world of whatever that is, which may already contain impure forces. And the rose also has a color white in the Sephir Keter, for her Sephir Keter is in the world of the whatever, and above there are two opposite states, perfection and its absence, light and darkness. They are felt by him who merits it. All right. It is therefore written that just as a rose among thorns is tinged with red and white, so does the assembly of Israel consist of judgment and mercy. This shows in something when Malchut is called Knesset, Israel, even though the ascended to Bana and clothed her, she still retains the property of judgment, of restriction, an attitude that's tough and just rather than compassionate. This is so because she needs a screen, a force of resistance to her egotistic desires, which, if available, enables Malchut to receive the upper light. The law, judgment, and restriction does not allow for reception of the light's egotistic desires. The screen aspiration to oppose one's egotistic desires repels the upper light, the pleasure back to its source, the creator. The light that man sends is called the returning light or the light of judgment. To extent of the intensity of the reflective force, man is allowed to receive the 10 Sephiroth in the upper light, called the direct light or the light of mercy for the Creator's sake, in precisely these altruistic desires. And that is why, even in its complete state, the assembly of Israel consists of judgment and mercy, which corresponds to the red and white colors of rose among thorns. All right, I think you got that with the red and the white. Let's move on. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. So, what does a white rose mean? Roses represent perfection, balance, and harmony. The white rose has always portrayed the emotions and innocence of purity. It can also reflect your kindness and innocence in some instances, just like how Gaira, I didn't read this part where she raised her friend from the dead. The angel came and helped her. And in innocence, in the sense of bringing the same espousal gift for her husband. These are kind and innocence all in one. It can show the sentiment of being romantic and happiness in a white and red rose arrangement. The white rose reflects the rule of creation throughout its case. It can pull any unbalanced energy into perfect harmony and send it back to universal consciousness. I brought this up because these are what all the rose colors mean, right? You say given together, these signify unity, right? If you have a red and a yellow together, given together, they mean happiness and excitement. But look at yellow, joy, delight, friendship, welcome back, and new beginnings. And that's the color that she affiliated with Michael. So now let's go with the 13 because remember, the thing about roses is that they have 13 petals, and that 13 was all through the Zohar and things. So let's just go over the importance of the number 13. Moon travels 13 degrees across the sky each day, 13 weeks in each of the 4 seasons, 13 lunar menstrual cycles in each year. 13 represents the end of a cycle and the rebirth of a new cycle. 13 weeks between equinoxes and solstices. It 13 is a power number in nature and in spirit. 13 is the only teen number in the Fibonacci sequence. In religion, Jesus had 12 disciples, making 13 of them. Buddha had 13 disciples. Islam has a prophet with 12 imams, making it 13. Not to mention Joseph, all the brothers, it was 12 of them, but it was with the one, all of the children, it was 13. We have 13 chakras, not 7. We actually have way more than 13, but whatever. 13 is a prime number and incorruptible in nature. 13 major joints in the body. 12 constellations around our sun, making 13. 13 is the most powerful number in observable nature. Angelic numbers for 13. The ascended masters, such as Jesus, Kuan Yin, and so on, are helping you maintain a positive outlook. The number 13, that's what Zedek, that's what Jupiter is. It comes in, it brings you hope. The number 13 signifies that female ascended masters and goddesses are assisting you in staying positive. Why? This is the number of Geira. So now we know when we see 13, we are seeing Zedek. We are seeing Geira. So it's not just 12s, 10s to look out for. And that's interesting because 10 we associated with Michael. Now we've got 13 we can associate with Zedek. All right, here's another one. Believe in your power to manifest anything you want in your life. If you see this number, know that too much belief in others can cause problems and you need to trust yourself more. Remember, the problem is that we wed ourselves to other gods. And so we have to not rely on any other god before the most high. That's where we get into all of these problems. So I had a whole nother part of this lesson where I was going to go into all of the guardian angels, I mean all of the archangels, but I think this has been enough for right now. So I hope that from this lesson you get the fact, the idea, the point. I love this picture of her. It feels like so accurate and so familiar. Here we go. I hope that you get the point, the idea, the thought, the understanding that not only do we have guardian angels that are here, that all of them are ready to assist us, especially as the ladies in the nation, that we actually have a we have total access to an archangel who is ready and willing and able to help us. And all we have to do is call on her. And I am a witness. I will testify for myself. I have called on her and she showed up and for me in a major, major, major way. And it was faster than I could have ever imagined for what I asked for to receiving what I asked. And just in general, everything has been so fast. And now that I know who it is, of course, I'm always going to be respectful of any angel that I ask to come and speak with me. But I'm going to be quadruple respectful, knowing that when I call on Gaira, she gonna come. It's not like I have to wonder if she gonna show up, is she gonna help, is she gonna whatever. She's going to come. She's assigned to us on this part. Specifically, her and her 496,000 angels is assigned to help us. We have to use that. We have to use it in righteousness. You see, the Gentiles they've been using it in evil, and now we have to use it in righteousness. And one of the sisters said yesterday that I talked to earlier. She said she could hear in her mind clear as day the whole time we were searching for the wizard when we were wearing the ruby slippers. We've been looking for somebody out there to come and save us. And the whole time we have had the power to be saved through calling on the Most High and knowing who to call on to come and save us, to come and help us. So, because, again, the planets are not out there somewhere, they're in us. As above, so below. So, not only do we have $496,000 angels up there to call on, we have 496,000 angels within ourselves to call on, with a guardian angel that's guarding all of those angels that's within us. So illness, what's that? What's that? Why you have that? What you call Gaira? Man, tell her, yo, I'm feeling kind of funny. What's going on? Like I don't like this. I need you to deal with this. We got access. We got power. We got way more power than we understand. This is just scratching the surface because now go back to the books of remembrance. Identify those major characters with guardian angels and then see what they are assigned to do for you. And you will see that the Most High did not leave us high and dry. Our ancestors did not leave us high and dry. We just didn't know. And it says in the book of remembrance right there, they're gonna lie to us, get us all confused. They don't want us to have this information, and they proceeded then to make sure we didn't get the information. But never fear, your girl never stops asking questions, and unfortunately I get answers. I won't rest until I get an answer. That's who I am and who I've always been and who I'll always be because the Most High made me this way, and I'm cool with that. Everybody else can have their opinion. Me, I'm good. I love the way that the Most High made me. And who can't love themselves when you know you got a guardian angel, an archangel with a legion of 496,000 outside of you and 496,000 inside of you to bring in everything that you could possibly need to be comfortable in this life. And that's what it's about. Not accumulating wealth, forget wealth. Trash, trash. What you need is comfort. Be comfortable, be happy, be wealthy, and be wise. So, to the spirits who are here with us, you're invited to go in peace. To my beloved viewers, you're invited to be at peace. And always remember, the Most High is your peace. Shalom.